Hello everyone, welcome to the Tech Stack channel. Okay, so in this video we will see and we will discuss regarding the very important reactjs interview question. So if you are new on this channel or for the videos, you can play subscribe this channel by which you will get the latest update and next React interview questions. Okay, so first question is, what are the features of React? So React is basically work on the JSX and on basis of components. So JSX is it is a syntax extension to JavaScript. It is used with React to describe what the user interface should look like. Means if you are looking to return something into the return statement, so we can use the JSX, and we can also work with TypeScript as well, and we can create the small components, uh, and that component we can after that we can merge that component to create the new components. So we can say that React work on the components. Okay, so next feature is virtual dom. Virtual dom is nothing, um, it is not an actual dom. So if any changes will be done in any property of the page React component, then React page will render. Otherwise, it will not re-render. And another property is one-way data binding. So React work for a one-way data binding. Okay, so I can say that Angular work on two-way data binding, but React work on one-way data binding. Okay, so what is actually JSX? So we can see the syntax of JSX here. So in this, we can see that we have created a render method, and we are writing the return. So it is the syntax of JSX. Okay, and browser read and browser can read the JSX directly. Okay, so we can see um, from this screen. Okay, so JSX can be read from the web browser directly. Okay, what is virtual DOM? So we can see that DOM stand for the document object model. Okay, and DOM present the HTML document with a logical tree structure. So okay, so if there will not any change into the page, then page will not re-render. But if there is any change, so it will compare with the actual DOM and virtual DOM. If there is any difference, then page will re-render. Okay, so we can see that how virtual DOM will compare with the real DOM. Okay. Okay. So now why React? Um, it is different from the another Angular framework. Okay. So we can see that. So easy creation of dynamic application. So we can create the dynamic application easily in case of React, but in Angular is a framework, and React performance is greater than the Angular performance. So in React library, we can create the high performing websites. Okay, and React support one-way data binding and Angular support the two-way data binding. We already discussed in previous question. Okay, so we can say that we can create the number of components, that component can be reusable in case of React. Okay, and it is the unidirectional data flow, as we discussed that. So data will flow from the model to property. So it will not flow to be data binding. Okay, and React is library and Angular is a framework. We have already discussed regarding this. Okay, okay. Basically, so Angular work onto the MVC architecture. So in this, we need to create the model view and controller. But in case of React, we can import the library and we can create the functional component and class component. Okay, so now this is next question. So what is difference between ECMAScript 6 and ECMAScript 5? So it is very important question. So we can see the syntax of ES5 and ES6 here. So in ES6 we have created the class, okay, and that class extending the React component, and we are returning something. But in earlier ES5, and this is not the syntax, so we can see the previous syntax here. And ES6, there are new feature already launched, like arrow function, spread operator, rest operator, okay, and string literal. So a spread operator we can use to merge the array. Okay, so we can see the syntax for the exports into the React, and we can see the import syntax as well. So we can get the variable to import the React library. Okay, so from this screen we can see how we can import and export. So if we will write export keyword in any component, then we can use that component in any other module. Okay, so now it is question for regarding the how we can create the React application. So for creating the React application, we need to install first Node.js, and after that we need to install one VS Code or Sublime Text we can also download, and we need to uh, and we can create any folder where we want to store that React code. So first we need to write the command npm create React app package. So it will create the basic structure of the React application. So there we can see the package.json file on that project or folder. So after installing the npm I, okay, so there can be in the package log file as well. So whatever version React we are using, that version will be log. Okay, so when we will do the npm I, so we can see the node modules folder also will create in the same directory. Okay, so and we can configure with the TypeScript as well React application. Okay, and we can use the multiple things. So to run the React application, we can use the multiple editor like Visual Studio Code, Atom, and Sublime Text. Okay, and what is the event in React? So if we are using any button or text box, so we can write the multiple events. So we can see here in a button, so we are creating the on press event. Okay, so when any user will press on the button, so that light up function will execute. So it is the trigger point, we can say that, and we can write the any functionality on that callback function. Okay, so event is the very important in JavaScript or in any server side technology as well as. Okay, so we can see that if we are writing the light up functions, we need to create the callback for that function. Okay, so we can see the how we can create the events, and we can see the syntax of the event. So in this we have created the class React component. So and in return statement we are using this dot work. So if we will create the class React component, so we need to use the this dot work, and that work function we can define into the same class. And if we will create the React functional component, then we don't need to use the this dot work function. We can directly write the arrow function with creating constant, and that arrow function we can write into the on click. Okay, so it is the difference between the React functional component and uh, class based React component. Okay, so okay, now next question is synthetic events. So synthetic event is basically it is the API and that support multiple browser response. Okay, so whatever events we are writing, that event will support into the multiple browsers. Okay, so we can say that prevent default is a synthetic event here. Okay, because if we are using any event, into the internet browser or Edge browser or Google Chrome browser. Okay, so might be there will be the compatibility issue, but if we will use the synthetic events. So basically we use this event in the React application, so that will support on every browser. Okay, so here if we are talking about the prevent default, so whenever handle click function will call, so it will restrict the further execution of the event. Okay, so and that e prevent default will support everywhere. So on Edge, on Chrome, and Safari, okay, and Mozilla. So on multiple browser it will support. So synthetic event is a very important feature of the React. So we can use synthetic event into the React. Okay, so for the part one it is sufficient, and we will bring new question into the part two. So please subscribe this channel if you are new on this channel, and by which we will bring new content and new interview questions for the React JS. Thanks for watching.